It is 5 a.m. and I am getting ready to go to the Beer and Pretzels Open in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. It's going to be a fun day, 3-hour drive to get to the event, and then I believe it's 4 rounds at the tournament. So stay tuned. Let's take a look at what happens today.
The Dark Kid.
Hello and welcome to another tournament review with me, Skari, your grateful host, going all the way up to Sudbury through the snow and the sleet to play at this one-day RTT.
Welcome to the road trip crew. This is Billy. He's brought his Imperials, so Night Crusaders, Crest, some Shield Captains, and the Rusty 17.
Yep.
I brought my list that you've seen in the last couple of battle reports, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good fun. It's a 3-hour drive. We're halfway there. It's 6:30 in the morning or so.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, something like that. We just stopped for some Tim Hortons coffee.
Good old Timmy's.
Are you excited for the day?
Yeah, I'm excited to get there, firstly.
Yeah, I know. It's snowing and the car's slipping a little bit, but we're trucking it over. And you're the reigning champion for the tournament.
I think I didn't get that. I got best overall last year.
That is a reigning champion.
Yeah, I think there was somebody who got higher points.
Doesn't matter. Best overall was like the win.
Yeah.
You took the win, so he's the defending champion.
Yeah, I got to defend that title, hopefully.
Awesome.
Hopefully.
So let's get to the event. Wish us luck.
So, we did make it to the event in one piece. The tables were all set up, the registration was underway. Let's see how the tournament panned out.
And we're here at the hole. So it was a good drive. We made it okay. We're just about to get paired up for round 1. It's about 24 players, 22 to 24 players. Really excited about it. But 3 rounds of 40K, Maelstrom of War in the first mission, Eternal War in the second mission, and ITC in the third mission. So it's a very varied list. I really like the whole. It's really cool. So let's get this done.
This is the second time I've come to the Beer and Pretzels Open. And last year, it was the first event I went to where I had decided to jump into content creation full time. Davis and the organizers at the event really gave me a lot of support as I was doing my fledgling jump into content creation. It was really cool to play my first round opponent, who I had the pleasure of playing last year.
Round 1 of the Beer and Pretzels Open. I'm playing Tau. It's a rematch from last year when I played the Plague Bearer spam list as a challenge. And so it's a rematch against my first, was it second round that we played? First round we played. I was playing the Demons. You were playing it was like your first tournament ever. Yep. It's a year later. You've improved. So he made me go first because I counter-deployed back here. First turn, I basically moved up. I have Drazar and the Succubus there. 2 Witches units here. Witches and Racks here. The 3 Ravagers here with Archon Skari in the middle. Homunculus there. Basically moved up. I killed his bomber. That's why the little drone's there. The 2 bombers were able to bomb and kill a unit of Pathfinders and another unit of Fire Warriors that was right there. And then on this flank, I have 1 solo unit of Talos, move, advance, shoot the Pathfinders, and then fire and fade behind line of sight because the bottom blocks line of sight. Then I have a Homunculus that advanced to stay within 6 here. So, it is a Maelstrom of War, so we have 6 objectives. I did score behind enemy lines and secure objective 6, which just happened to be right here, which is exciting. And now we're moving on to turn 1 for the Tau, the retaliation turn. Let's see what he does as we move into the turn. But this is really fun. I really like the event. It's one of the most fun events I've been to. And it was the first event I really went to when I started doing content creation full time. So it's really nice to come and support the local community, and a couple of guys that really supported me when I was just getting started with the Patreon page and essentially running and doing bat reps and creating entertainment and education for you guys on Patreon. So if you'd like to support the channel, check the link down below.
It was really nice, of course, to go to an event and see some really cool varied lists. One of my favorite was this Atreus Primaris tank with Sikaran Battle Tank Iron Warriors army that I posted a pic up during the event on social media. It caused quite a ruckus, quite some guttural feelings for it.
Middle of second round, I do have quite a few Maelstrom points. I'm basically using these big line of side blockers to hide for most of his army while killing and isolating the units that he had on the flanks. He did sacrifice his commander over here to get 2 points for mission critical because he gambled for it. And then I was able to get Warlord kill with my Talos. But now his retaliation, he should be able to get Assassinate with the sniper drones because he didn't take my bait of me shooting the marker, the marksman guy. And then he didn't pass wounds off to the marker drones, the sniper drones smartly. And then I was able to get my Death by 1,000 Cuts. I killed one model from 6 different units, and I got 3 points, which was big. Good old Dark Eldar cards. And who needs to spread there? That's like goes against everything I talk about. Focus fire. Here I am, firing at 6 different units to kill different models. Maelstrom can be really strange sometimes, which I love. And that's the end of round number 1. It was a major victory for the Dark Eldar. The Tau did end up starting pushing forward. Those flamer crisis suits were the bane of my existence, murdering Talos and infantry racks and my homunculus, and then the broadsides in the back. But I was able to sort of push up and essentially pin him into a zone and get a lot of the Maelstrom points, as well as a good trap for one of the marksmen with a net, which then allowed me to sort of leapfrog into that zone there. So with that, we move into round number 2.
So my list had done very well against the Tau. Now it was time to start cranking up the heat, and in round 2, I was going to be facing Disco Lords, Deredeo Dreadnought, Chaos list. I was very curious to see how that would go.
We're here at the start of round 2, and I'm playing against 3 Disco Lords, Deredeo Dreadnought, Scorpius, and a bunch of Cultists and some Havocs, with just the Flawless Host, specialist attachment for the Disco Lords from Vigilus. Bomber. I got to deploy first, and then I get to choose to go first or second. Ravagers hiding back here. Witches and Racks in the middle, so I can kind of go this way. Drazar, Succubus, Witches, 3 Talos over here as well. And then my Ravagers and the Archon hiding behind this. It's not magic boxes, so these are just big buildings that are impossible, so you can't go through. It's an Eternal War mission. So 1 objective, 2 objectives, 3 objectives. You score it at the start of your player turn on turn 2 and onwards. That one's worth 2. That one, each one in your deployment is worth 1. And that's it. It's just like a fight for 3 objectives, except you score them at the start of your turn. Essentially defending, which is pretty snazzy. Okay, with that, we're going to move into the game. And as the game is going, the Dark Eldar took first turn. He didn't seize. I killed 2 Disco Lords and a bunch of Cultists with some bombs and some Havocs first turn, so that was a big detriment. And then second turn, and then in his first turn, he charged in with his Chaos Lord, who died to Overwatch, which was a shame. It was a big blow. And then I've just essentially taken off most of the board. Deredeo has 1 wound left. There's 10 Cultists. A Librarian with 1 wound left there. 10 more Cultists behind this little thing here. But it's looking grim for the Chaos because it's 3 objectives. And Drazar's just cutting a bloody swathe through units with his double attack. So that's been pretty fun. Okay, so now it's his turn. Let's see what happens.
And that is the end of round 2. This is my second round opponent. Tell everybody about yourself. Good game, sir. Are you from Sudbury?
Yes, I'm from Sudbury.
And what did you play today?
I played Chaos Battalion, 2 detachments, Flawless Host, and Black Legion.
Yep.
Skari's Dark Eldar ran over me.
The Disco Lords died pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And this is before he goes. This is Davis, one of the Patreons of the channel as well. And you're heading out, so I wanted to show it. You and Aaron put this on every year.
Yeah, every year for 5 years. This is our 5th year now.
It's an amazing, fun, just low-key chill event. I love it. It's great fun. All the way in Sudbury, Ontario.
It's close by.
Yeah, close by to nowhere. No, you're not. It's still like all of northern Ontario.
That's right. We're not
signs
even halfway.
We did, yeah, it's true. Is that the Raptors thing, though?
I'm not sure where that
I know.
is.
Canadian problems. Hashtag Canadian problems. Awesome. Thanks a lot for the game, and best of luck with your last round. Davis, thank you so much for having us.
Not a problem. Thank you again for coming.
Okay.
And every year, and look forward to seeing you and other people for future years.
Round 3 was upon me, and I was going to get to play Kevin from the Basement Collective. Used to be very active on YouTube and Twitch, haven't really done much of that. However, the army was gorgeous. It was going to be terrifying, though. A Crusader Knight, 3 Caladius Grav Tanks, and a Shadow Sword with supporting characters. Let me just say, going into this round, I was terrified of the amount of firepower his list had.
I'm here on the final round. I'm playing Kevin from the Basement Collective. That's right. And he's running 3 Caladius Grav Tanks, Shadow Sword, a Knight that was crashed. I did kill him in my first turn because I got to go first. A vehicle that makes it reroll misses. Sorry, Trojan. Smash Captain. And I'm here with Kevin after round 3 from the Basement Collective. They do lots of events as well up here in Sudbury.
Yes, sir. All the way up in Sudbury.
Yeah, you do. Which you do the team event.
We have a major that's a singles event in June.
Yep.
We see about 60 people. It's always at the cusp of a major,
Yep.
a large GT and a major for 40K. And this year we're adding a 24-person Age of Sigmar GT and then a Lord of the Rings tournament, 16-person.
Yeah.
If we could get bigger for Lord of the Rings, we will.
I love it.
Yeah,
and then there's Conquest guys running AOS next year.
Yeah, that's part of that.
That'll be in June, right?
Yeah, that's in June. And then early October, we do a team event. This year we're going to do 5-man teams and 20 teams.
In October, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it's always fun.
It's like an ATC style event, but it's...
Yeah, well, we always vote on ATC. Well, we voted on ATC or ETC this year, so it's up to the players. I suspect it'll be voted ATC.
Again, well, ITC is easy, so...
Yeah.
I love the Basement Open, which is a major. That was the first major I ever won.
It was.
And then Jim Vessel won it this year.
He did.
Yeah, because I didn't come, so I wasn't able to fight him for
That's the only reason why you didn't win.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for the game.
No
even
problem.
though I did win the 3rd round. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah,
But,
I needed to go first. I think if I went first, I think I probably
I think you
could have
tabled
won.
me. I think you tabled me,
I think I
honestly.
would have definitely got rid of another 3 tanks, if not more. So.
We killed 2 Ravagers on the first turn, and you
Yeah.
killed the plane.
Yeah.
No.
No, I
Plane
thought
the second
the
turn.
unit of Talos.
And the Talos. Oh, you nuked the Talos.
Yeah, well, my Shadow Sword shot one of its guns. and the
Old
rest of
grudges, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
you just
but-
destroyed the Talos.
But my army really needs to go first, and it didn't go first.
Yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for the game.
Yeah, no
That was
problem.
really
Thank
fun. And we'll come back with Aaron, who's one of the organizers of the event.
Yes.
And I'm here with Aaron after my final round, round 3. Aaron's with Davis. They run the Beer and Pretzels Open. And what do we do here at the Beer and Pretzels Open?
We drink beer and we eat pretzels and we play 40K.
And that's me. I drink pop the whole time.
Well,
Because I don't drink. But that's okay. Thank you a lot. This is great. Fantastic
man, you
event. Yeah, it's so much fun. I came last year for the first time. This is the 5th one, and I cannot wait for many, many more. Awesome.
we'll keep doing them as long as everybody will have us doing them.
Absolutely. Anyway, that's Aaron, everybody.
The event came to a close. I just want to show another picture of the army that caused so much hate. Back to the studio. Hello and welcome back to the studio. It's been a little bit since the Beer and Pretzels Open. Took me a while to get to this edit specifically. However, the list that I played did very well at the event, and I did win Best General. I was the top ITC scorer at the event, and it was just my hobby scores. I've been working mainly on repainting a lot of my models, so a lot of them are sort of like in a hodgepodge of sort of done and sort of not done. So Irvin, who had a gorgeously painted knight army, did win Best overall. He had about the same amount of battle points as me, but a better hobby score. Me personally, I went in with an open mind. I knew that I had brought a very competitive list. If you want to see the list or whatever, I've posted on the Patreon blog. But I wanted to shout out, thank you very much to the Beer and Pretzels Open for having me for the event, and I hope you get to do the travel up to Sudbury, Ontario, Canada next year for the event. Just a great time with friends. Now, I know we all go to or have specific little events that we like to travel to or go to that might not necessarily be the biggest or the most popular, but when you go, you're surrounded with friends, you have a ton of fun, and it's a great way to spend a day. Was it worth the 3-hour drive each way to get to the event? Absolutely. Billy and I did it in the snow and the sleet. Billy actually won Best Overall last year, was dethroned this year. And now I must go back next year to defend my title. But the Dark Eldar did fantastic at the event, and I cannot wait to continue this journey, as now it's crunch time as we move closer and closer to the LVO. Huge shout out to all the channel Patreons and Denizen community supporters. If you'd like to jump onto the Denizen community for some additional content, tactical feedback and support from a global community of like-minded positive gamers, check the link down below. I'm Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out.